All right. Not live.
Sweet.
It always adds a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Just because, but once we get going, it's okay. It's just a lot to remember, man, over here.
That was pretty easy over here. I really didn't stress about anything.
Right. I bet you didn't, you jackwagon. Bet you didn't. I want to sit over there. Eventually, we're going to keep doing this all till we, go through to retirement and stuff. Eventually, when we have more time and I can train somebody, God, it would be interesting to see what it's like over there.
I'll sit over there
to relax and not have to
just chilling, reading the news and smelling the roses. It's all good in the hood.
That's right, Bikeaholics. This episode is brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. It's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers. Make sure to check it out via our custom link so you can get all the perks. lawabidingbiker.com/Biker Planet. Hey, Oscar, you like, you didn't mention how you like the new sofa, brother. Because we have a new sofa in the studio.
It cradles my behind,
dude.
Effectively.
Now, that sofa, is it comfortable, honestly? Because I try to pick out a nice one for you guys. I mean, it's firmer than the old one. It's
definitely firmer.
That's because you broke the other one.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I did.
Dude, do you remember that?
Yeah.
When you sat, you sat on it, dude, and all of a sudden you were getting ready to podcast and it just went snap and it caved in, dude.
I'm not that well. Okay, I'm pretty big, but this one I need to sit in a little bit and it'll break in nice.
Yes, it is brand new.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that is funny. And you sat on it the rest of the podcast. And it was stained. Right. That's like a 15-year-old sofa, dude. And I just happened to bring it up here in the studio.
Yeah.
People don't realize we just kind of pieced that together over time.
Hey, it worked.
It's leather. It's spill proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
From you jack wagons.
We do spill and we sweat.
Yes, right.
And we drool a little bit.
And we can thank, who got this sofa. Who's responsible for getting us this sofa?
No.
Patrons.
Oh, I should have known that.
Yep. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. They help put fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank so we can make sure the show keeps going down the road. And those patrons funds, we do a lot of things with it. It gives us structure and it lets us know what we can, what services we can bring. Of course, simple things like that. And I still didn't go out of control. It's still an IKEA sofa.
It's okay. It's a nice sofa.
But I'm happy with it, dude. Yeah. I'm still very, thrifty when it comes to that, and we don't have a ton of money just floating around, but that was something that I thought was necessary.
Yeah.
Since you did, let me remind you, break the sofa.
Well, yeah.
But it still held for over a year. I put screws underneath it, wood screws, dude. It's still, actually, once I did that, it's in good shape.
It was fine.
And it was an IKEA sofa too.
It was.
But, oh my God, dude. So if you guys want to become a patron, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patron, you can pledge a certain amount per piece of content. And help us out. That's right. No risk to you because you can put a monthly cap on it, guys. You can pledge a certain amount and then cap it to a certain level. And it's growing, and there's obviously benefits over there to that and to the private Facebook group and a whole bunch of other cool stuff like that. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that couch, dude. And
did we start the show?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did?
Oh, you didn't know?
I thought we were just talking about the couch.
Well, that's what we do here. It shouldn't really matter whether we're starting the show or not. That's just what we do here. We just talk. We're bikers and we're just talking in the microphone, bro.
We might need to get some more structure here. Because I'm not sure what's happening.
We have no structure, dude. Here's structure. And now, straight from the Law Abiding Biker Media Studio.
Out of sunny Yakima, Washington.
We bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
That's right. Shout out to poor Jakey. Jakey was supposed to be in the studio today. We only have Oscar and I, which is just fine because we're ripping it up. We just got done with the live episode. Now we're doing a podcast, just regular recorded podcast. And Oscar's over there fat and happy on his new sofa.
Oh, yeah. My butt is cradled.
That a boy. Feel it. Feel it. Headbang. See, I hit my mic again, dude. I always do that with my earphones. I got to do this.
That was your mullet with too much hairspray.
I know, dude. Welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the big also known as the
99%.
That's Oscar over there. That's right, guys. By listening to this very podcast, you can be very proud. You're fueling what we call the biker revolution. That's right, large and in charge, you included. We're all in charge of the motorcycle scene. That's right, more than any time in history. I do have to ask just one question. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up. Jump on already, huh? Let Oscar and I take you on another wild-ass ride.
Hang on tight.
Actually, you can jump on. I'll drive. Oscar can jump on. And then you can jump on the fender behind Oscar, and we'll just do a little threesome.
Who's going to ride in the handlebars?
Oh,
why not get four?
No doubt.
Old school style.
I like it. Oh, feel that, Oscar? I just got to jam out a little bit. Somebody asked me the other day they like this song.
Yeah.
I like it too. It gets me pumped, dude.
Yeah. It is a good song.
Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your high-tech redneck, because I said it for you last episode too.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I was confused.
No, I would have pointed at you, dude. That's right, Oscar in the house, and me and Oscar just ripping it up here, doing a little twosome here. Because Jakey, like I say, poor guy fell ill about 4 hours before we were supposed to go live. We just did a live episode. This isn't live. This is just a recorded podcast. But even the live one comes out in podcast format eventually. Just some people get to hear it live and experience it first. lawabidingbikers.com/live if you want to get hooked up and see what that behind the scenes raw chat, live chat. Wasn't
a
that
raw
chat
twosome,
fun?
is that what you're really saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. That's nice.
Wasn't that live chat fun?
It was a great time.
We had so many people in there.
That was, yeah, and a lot of good stuff floating around.
Mm-hmm.
And people were fighting.
Yes, there was people busting each other's, not fighting, but
well,
yes.
I mean,
yes,
verbally abusing each other.
Oh, yeah.
In a good way.
Yep.
It was fun.
Straight up freaking just typical bikers just busting each other's balls. I love it.
Yeah.
No, they have fun in there. It's nothing serious, but oh, yeah, we got an episode for you. What do we got going on here, dude? What do we
Pretty
got
much
going on?
cool music snippets.
Yeah, cool music snippets. That's all. Let me do another one now. New free video, guys. That's right. We do have a new free video. I try to put these out. They've been out for some time, but I like to at least notify you of them on the podcast. Of course, make sure you're signed up for the free email club so you're notified immediately when we come out with new free videos. lawabidingbiker.com/email club. We'll shoot you an email when we come out with new free videos and information. And of course, once in a while, a few of our for purchase products. The new video I'm talking about is a video I did because I had a rock chip in my fairing. Large rock chip. And so I bought a touch-up paint kit, Harley Davidson brand. Everybody's familiar with them. You can order them from your dealership, paint, color matched. Of course, it's not going to be the same as your stock paint job, but at least it can look a little bit better because oftentimes it's black underneath the primer and all that. And you can see a big black chip. Well, there is a techniques, and I had done it a couple times in the past, and I decided to just do it raw and show what a real biker is like in his garage trying to use one of these kits. Of course, I ask multiple different sources, both the dealership and a couple other resources that I had and connections, and everybody kind of had a different little way to do it, but I basically put them all together and made a plan of attack, and I did it. That's not a video you can do 2 takes, Oscar, FYI.
Right.
Not a video you can do 2 takes.
Okay.
You get one chance to touch up your paint.
Not
So
really, because you can just take a hammer and smash it with a chip.
I could just chip another spot.
And he would do that for us. I know you would.
I have did similar things, yes. But that it is, and it worked. It's not going to be perfect, guys. I'm not going to get into it a lot. You can watch the video. I talk about it. I explain it, and I show you the techniques that I used. I'm not saying they're the only technique. I'm not saying that it was perfect. It's never going to be perfect with touch-up paint.
Was it brush or spray?
Brush.
And it's hard
and
to...
a clear coat.
Oh.
A bottle of clear coat and a bottle of the paint, the amber whiskey.
On my Chevy, I did the spray paint, and I masked it off, and I squared it, and it worked really well. I had a perfect square.
Oh,
paint.
You put masking tape, you idiot! That's going to make
it worked out perfect. But I
won't that make ridges?
No, well, I overcoated it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a perfect square.
Oh, I see.
Because I had to square off the area because how do you cut that out?
Yes.
But we're great. I was really impressed with the spray. But I overcoat. I had no idea. Never done it before.
HD doesn't make a spray one that I know of.
Oh, okay.
They only make brush.
Oh, okay.
For touch up. So
yeah,
that's good. Unless you could match your own paint. But Harley
just mix up some in the garage. Yes.
Right. Just mix up some
in the blender,
some lacquer and some
the Ninja.
Yeah. Just
dump some shit in the Ninja.
Yeah.
Puree.
No doubt, dude. Oh, so you can get that video, guys. It is it's been very popular and it helped a lot of guys and got a lot of thanks on that. That's of course on our free YouTube channel, but you can get directly to it at lawabidingbiker.com/Harley paint touch up and all the blogs over there. The information, the part numbers and all that. Of course, your part numbers will be different depending on the color of your particular paint. If you haven't yet, make sure you head over. Our YouTube channel is nearly at 17 or 18,000 subscribers now. We've got over 2.5 million views. It is huge, and I can't believe it, and it's snowballing. If you haven't, if you want to help us out, we'd really appreciate it. Take the time, lawabidingbiker.com/YouTube, and just hit that big red subscribe button. You can set your notifications if you don't want to get notified all the time, but at least it shows some social proof of how large Law Abiding Biker is getting. And we're having some pretty large companies very interested in us now. And we're working on stuff behind the scenes. So that helps us out when we show those numbers and share it around. Share our videos and all that kind of stuff. We work hard on all this free content. 95% of it is for free. Of course, we do sell a few videos for obvious reasons. We have to help monetize this. And like I stated before, our patrons help with that. So here, let's get right into we've got a couple things here, guys. I've got Oscar in the studio for a reason. He brings a very interesting perspective. He's very, very technical when it comes to motorcycle mechanics and things like that. And so I like to I stack up a lot of email questions and a lot of Facebook questions. And so this is kind of a multi-purpose type episode, but it's going to be some great information and obviously, like usual, some evergreen content. We've got a voicemail about a Fuel Pack 3 we're going to cover. We've got a email about a compensator problem on a Harley. We'll see if we can get to all this. And then the other third big thing is we're going to talk in a private patron-only Facebook group. That's right, private patron-only Facebook group. We get a lot of comments, and Oscar is very willing to help people out in there, and I appreciate it so very much. We had a question about compensators, torque cones. So those are kind of the three things we're going to hit on. Then we have some other fun emails. If we have time, we will get to those emails, and we have stacks of emails that we would like to get to, but I try to throw in some of the technical ones for Oscar here. What do you say, Oscar, that we get rolling with that?
Okay.
You know what? Speaking of that private Facebook group, there's patrons in there.
You want me to read that?
You know what?
Yeah.
They're responsible, along with others, for this very episode, dude. So I would like to take some time and thank these patrons.
You want me to hit it up?
Oh, hit it.
Hit it up,
baby.
Dave Hankey of Cypress, Texas. Mark McDermott of Arlington, Washington.
Top tier. Mark McDermott went top tier, dude, which means he gets everything, the private Facebook group, the t-shirt, the stickers, and he gets exclusive access to any of our 4 purchase videos simply by requesting it. We send him a free coupon code to access them.
That's awesome. And Bill Jordan of Bainbridge, Georgia. Bill was on earlier.
Oh yeah, Bill Jordan was on our chat room. He was very involved.
That was fun.
On our live episode. You're right. Good recall. Total recall.
Wow, it's been at least 10 minutes.
Did you scoot over? Because I can't see you now, dude.
Oh man, my butt was trying to cradle in another spot.
Because I can't see you.
We need some pillows and a masseuse.
I'll have to tell the wife that she has to get some pillows for that.
Okay.
That's right, guys. Thanks to all those patrons. They simply took action. They put a little fuel in the law-abiding biker gas tank so we can keep this bitch going on down the road. That's right. You running right now. Stop. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. Patron. That's right. You running right now. That's right. You walking the dog. Just stop. That's right. You driving truck right now. Pull that 18-wheeler over and take frickin' action, guys. We appreciate it very, very much. You know how many people I get with that? I've actually got emails that goes, dude, I was running and you said that. And it was frickin', and
I was meant to be.
I was riding my bike. I was walking my dog. I was driving my truck. So I'm always throwing it out there, guys. But God bless the patrons. It is growing. It grew in 2015. It is amazing going into 2016 here.
And the amount of information just grows exponentially, which is what it's all about.
In the private Facebook group you're talking about? Yeah, right.
You guys are throwing out all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, wow. That's so cool.
And that's why this very episode, this question came up. It was in our private Facebook group.
Yeah.
And it was, let me just go to it. I've got a link directly to it so we can look at it. So it was Carl Lingelbach.
Yeah, Carl Lingelbach.
Lingelbach. And he says, so let me just read it here to preface it a little bit and get us set up here. So I'll read it because I know it's very small. During the most recent podcast, there was a brief mention of the downside of using a true dual exhaust. The problem being an absence of back pressure because of the type of header. Over the last winter, I installed RC component true dual headers and 4-inch slip-ons mufflers on my 2015 Street Glide Special. Now, after listening to the ups and downs of the different exhaust systems, I'm thinking I may have made a mistake. However, would installing, quote, torque cones resolve the problem? Any guidance on this would be appreciated. Thanks, Carl Lingelbach. Now, just to let you guys know what goes on inside of this private Facebook group, of course, patron only. So you got to become a patron and pledge a certain amount per piece of content. All the information's over there for you. We had 14 comments. I'm opening them up, aren't I? Oscar right here.
Yeah.
And here's view more. We got BD Kane in there. We got me, Ryan Erlacher. We got Justin right there. Oscar in there. We've got a whole Carl's in there, and others in there. I'm scrolling down. So, and that's the kind of resource this is. And right in this guy's private Facebook group, there's a search bar, and you can literally go into the search bar in the private Facebook group. It's better than any forum, and you can search. That's how I found the Slick Oscar up in the search bar. I just searched torque cones, and it came up with all the posts and comments regarding torque cones.
Yeah.
That's how I found that. So that's over there, guys, and that's a resource for you should you want to become a patron and get in there. And he asked that in there, and I'm sure within that day, he had up to 14 comments. And of course, then on top of it, we added it. And I thought it was a great conversation piece to talk about right here on the episode because others may be interested or have heard of torque cones. He heard it also, I want to reference, he heard it on episode 73, what he was referencing there about pipes and back pressure, apparently lawabidingbiker.com/73. And that was our Harley Davidson twin cam chain tensioner problem, 1999 to 2006. Remember that episode?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Ed and I did that one. Was Ed in here? Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, and you were very thorough. That has been a very popular episode. So if you guys want to know 1999 to 2006 twin cam chain tensioner problems, you'll want to hit episode 73. Very thorough, and the blog I did was unbelievable on that. Very informational. So. But we did talk about some extra exhaust issues based on a voicemail in that episode. So here you go. Torque cones, dude. What do you know about torque cones? They're like ice cream cones.
Right.
But they're not so cold.
And that's right.
Well, I mean,
I'll tell you, I don't know much about these. That's why I brought you in the studio, dude. I looked up pictures and I don't know anybody. And I ride with a lot of people that uses torque cones. So just go. This is yours, buddy.
I'm going to speculate a little bit on why they were even developed.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that I know this for sure. This is
explain real quick. I want to go that, but for the audience, tell them what a torque cone is first, and then get into why maybe you think they were developed. Tell them at least what we're talking about here. Somewhat. It's a cone that goes in your header pipe, and it's supposed to give you back pressure.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little steel or chrome cone.
It's a reducer, basically.
Okay, thank you.
So it goes maybe from 2 inches down to 1.5. And that's where back pressure comes from.
Okay.
But that's one of the places back pressure can come from. My guess is someone invented those because guys like Carl spent a lot of money on really nice RC Components is really nice exhaust. And all of a sudden, these true duals suck. Or, some people won't have any problems with them. I don't want to spend another $1,200 on all new exhaust or another.
So you're saying true duals, and you're talking about true duals that are basically the same length. And
right. And there's no X pipe or crossover or anything there.
There's no chamber where the two goes into one and then back into two. It's just straight out the header and out each side of the bike, straight flow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We always have new listeners, so I always try to bring it back a little bit.
Yeah.
That's true dual, guys, is no chamber. The pipes are separate all the way from front header, each header, all the way to the back.
Right. And so, you spend a lot of money on really nice exhaust, and then all of a sudden no one tells you ahead of time. And a lot of people are in that pickle. Oh, this exhaust is nice, and my buddy hasn't. It's cool. Oh, they don't tell you. And I talked to a guy like that. Happened to him too. And so my guess is someone developed these as like an intermediary between having to buy new exhaust or going to a dyno and having a guy give you a map that's only going to work with those pipes because of how they work. And so, we could do torque cones and make them like they're different kind of pipe. They didn't come up a lot like in the forums and stuff. And the reviews on them I read early on, never really very good. I mean, basically you still have true duals, and the theory is there, but they're just never caught on for a reason, because I don't think they really do what they're supposed to do. And so I don't know that they would help. And I was looking back through the comments. I don't think they'll help. I don't think they have that much value. I mean, maybe in some circumstances they do. And I've heard some of the guys that race use them in certain applications, but for most of us, I don't know. I just am not sold on them. So essentially, they're a reducer. And so when you're talking about true duals, I'm trying to bring it down. Basically, when you have a true dual, when you have an exhaust pipe, it's a certain diameter. And it can stay the same diameter all the way through. So like your big shots, those Vance and Hines big shots.
Twin slash rounds?
No.
Oh, my other ones?
On your 11. Yeah, right. They're basically 1.5 inches from start to finish.
Yes.
Okay, so that means the air flows through at a certain rate. Now, a lot of other exhaust systems have a point where the exhaust comes together, which means that it kind of causes a backup and puts pressure. And it also has to do with the sound.
Kind of like stock Harley pipes do.
Right, they do. Right? Yes, they do. And
where the catalytic converters are.
Right. No, where that. Oh, yeah, I guess that's where
the crossover is.
They are. And it also has something to do with the sound wave of the exhaust. This is way beyond my technical abilities, but it has to do with how the exhaust sound wave pulse travels down the exhaust.
Okay.
As well. So, so if you have a pipe that is just 2 inches round all the way through, at really high RPMs, you can push a lot of exhaust out really fast. At low RPMs, there's no back pressure, period. So the intake, I don't know, it gets common. I mean, we could go on forever, but basically the back pressure helps keep a balance between the exhaust and the intake stroke. So as new air and fuel mixtures coming in and the exhaust is going out, it's coming into the combustion chamber and exhaust is going out. If you get too much, it creates a vacuum and sucks a bunch of air out into the exhaust. If you don't have enough or if you have too much back pressure, it doesn't suck enough air into the end. So
see, that's amazing.
It gets really complicated.
I get it, but that's better explanation. I kind of get it in my brain what back pressure is for, but that's awesome. No, that's good. Even though it's still way limited explanation. I really have tried the physics of, I've read some really technical articles that are well beyond me. Dudes with big, huge heads that make lots of money, theorize that stuff, and then they're beyond me. But anyway, so that's sweet, dude. You teach me so much.
The torque cone was made, I'm guessing, to fix the problem with someone who buys.
But it's a reducer, so it's supposed to be causing back pressure. So what
it's too soon. It can be too soon in the exhaust that it isn't effective enough.
So stop there real quick. That's good. So stop there. So what we're talking about, so the audience knows, because we're looking at pictures. So these torque cones they're a reducer. So basically looks like a little funnel almost. And I'm exaggerating, but it looks like a funnel. It's large at one end because we're in a podcast.
There's a kitchen implement that looks like that. It basically looks like an hourglass.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks like an hourglass, basically, is what it is. But it installs right at the head pipe.
So right where your heads bolt on with the two bolts and the little flange.
Right where the exhaust meets the head. It bolts right there. And that
it sits okay, it must.
It sits in the exhaust.
Yeah.
But the theory is that it's a little too soon. So the exhaust wave never actually travels down the exhaust. So it puts some pressure on the gases.
The exhaust wave.
The sound pulse.
Wow.
It literally, I know, it gets complicated.
Crazy shit, dude.
It is real crazy shit. It's like big egg-headed people figure this shit out. But
I'm going nuts here. I don't like it.
Too. But anyway, so that was some of the stuff I read. It's too soon.
You're making me have a brain-gasm.
Well, I don't want to be responsible.
I'm having a brain-gasm,
anything
dude.
you might squirt on the carpet.
Oh, go ahead.
But you see Harley's pipes are the same diameter all the way down to that crossover chamber, and that crossover chamber is a fairly effective means of creating back pressure. And so like I read how Vance and Hines controls the sound pulse and D&D. They all have different theories, but
that is awesome.
My 2-1, same theory. They meet at a certain point. The headers are the same length. They meet at a certain point, creates a chamber where it controls the sound pulse and it controls the actual exhaust gases so that they flow out of the headers at a certain rate, sucking new air fuel mixture into the intake at a certain rate, allowing you to have low end, mid range, and you suffer a little bit at the very, very top end, high RPMs, but we don't ride that much there anyway, so whatever.
Very cool. Oscar, you're amazing. And these things are going for like $17 here. Look
I
mean, there's a little piece of metal.
Yeah, and it's just a little steel.
And it reduces it down
a little bit.
Like I say, like a funnel. And I quite honestly, before this question came up, but I've got it a couple times. That's why I wanted to address it. There you go. Straight from Oscar. He's not thinking it's really worth your time. If you're doing true duals and you're not happy with the performance, which we've said in the past, you're not going to be happy with the performance necessarily of true duals. I had them on my
tuned out.
You can get
it tuned out, but it'll cost you a little bit of money. The torque cones for $17, but I don't think they'll work. So
tuning it out, it's going to cost you a bit more.
Yeah.
You see, I never had my 11 tuned out. I had the true duals, and it never was that ran perfect. It just they lag in power.
Yep.
I mean, the true duals.
You're
right, a little bit. There's no back pressure, so that's why I didn't do true duals this time.
Yeah.
But it was Carl looking for a right.
Yeah, Carl Lingelbach.
And looking for an easy fix, and I think that's kind of what we ended up telling him in the Facebook group, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't you? You answered some of that, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I did. And I think that was the conclusion, which was, you're better off probably getting it tuned out. Or buying a tuner and learning about the maps and stuff and see if you can tune it out yourself. It's in the low RPMs.
So he's better off like basically getting an FP3.
Yeah.
Like we said, instead of the torque cones. That's not going to be an easy fix. So I'm just looking through the thread of comments here in the private Patron only Facebook group here.
And those RC components, that's a really nice exhaust. Like good choice in the exhaust. He just didn't know ahead of time on the true duals.
Say that again. Sorry,
I said the RC component's really nice exhaust.
Oh, it is,
and it sounds good. And I feel bad he didn't know ahead of time. I wished.
But you think FP3?
Yeah,
do an FP3.
You should be able to tune it out.
Get our video.
Yeah,
LAB-102-Biker.com/fuel pack PAK and the number 3. It's a free video. Everything you need to know about the Fuel Pack 3, how to install it, how to set up the app, how to do auto tune maps. Would he have to go in to do manual maps, you think, or think he can auto tune? So he's going to have to get manual.
Yeah, I don't think he can auto tune that.
So he's going to have to get somebody that knows a little bit about fuel cell values and things like that. So
that one, and
that's why I never recommend true duals. That's just me, because I've experienced them. I've had them.
Right.
Not happy. They sound badass, but
on a Dyna where you're riding high RPMs on a lighter bike, maybe. But not really even. It's not a touring exhaust. It's not a 2-up exhaust. It's a race exhaust.
Right.
And they are effective for race bikes.
I agree. With some manual tuning.
Yeah.
Some people that know what they're doing.
Right.
Yes, I agree. So
he might, with that FP3, he might be able to do some auto-tune sessions and look at the fuel maps. Maybe. And make some adjustments on his own if he's willing to try.
Right.
It's not gonna, if it's in the little stuff, not gonna blow anything up. He could try it. And if that doesn't work, call Vance and Hines, because they'll make custom maps.
See, we did that on the fuel, and I tell you that in the video with that Fuel Pack 3, right in that app, you can real time data. They can
read it,
or you can do a map. You can do a auto tune session, and then you can just email that to them right from the app, and then they'll look at it. They can tweak it and send it back to you, and you can flash.
The advantage in Carl's position to a dyno is because one of the things he'll know is less horsepower and torque down low at low RPMs. So on a dyno, a dyno tuner can see that low torque and horsepower where Vance and Hines may not be able to. And so they can see, okay, you've got low, we can bump the horsepower and torque here with some tuning down low because of the true duals, that someone theoretically tuning it, like I might tell him do this and this and this.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to see where in the RPM range he's losing the most horsepower and torque.
How much for a dyno do you think if he were to take it? If he got the FP3 and then took it to a dyno guy? I don't even know, dude.
Anywhere from $150 to $350.
Okay.
Like 350 being, he would probably get a really, if he found someone he trusted that was well recommended for $350, he should get a really good map.
So he could just take his FP3 in there and they can dial in
if they're Vance and Hines.
If they're Vance and Hines dyno guys.
Yeah. $150, you might get something a little more basic, but whatever you can afford and whatever you want to do, it's worth it. And you get that one map and you're not changing anything else. Stick with it forever. Freaking bike runs great and you're in good shape.
Right.
Money well spent.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right. Maybe. What else on the torque cones? Anything else? I think we pretty much...
that was it.
Nothing else on torque cones. But we at least wanted to cover that and let you guys know because we have had some questions on it. And you know what? We love our patrons, but we never, Oscar, never balk at a flat donation. And we just want to thank these people real quick. Would you like to thank these people or you want me to?
Yeah, you should.
Mike Matuzek of St. Charles, Illinois, left a flat donation. Of course, David Duffy of Jackson, Tennessee. Tim Valdez of Arvada, Colorado. He's donated previously, guys. He says, note in his PayPal donation, Merry Christmas and God bless to you all.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. Unbelievable, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/donate if you want to just leave a flat donation. And of course, we really appreciate that. It also helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank so we can keep this baby running on down the road. We so much from the bottom of my heart appreciate every flat donation that comes in. Patrons are a huge part, and of course, the flat donations too. So we got another email here, Oscar, if we want to touch on this, and we'll get into. We're not going to get heavily into this because it's not that big of issue, but we have had emails on it, and there are some things out there on the interweb about compensator problems. And Oscar knows all about having to compensate. Sticks a sock in his pants to compensate for his.
That's the cushion the blow when it swings around. Yeah.
Saying, dude. All right, one for me. All right.
Wow. You got 2 for the year.
You're right. I get 2. So Nora Dalton. I don't have her location, but Nora Dalton and left a email, I suppose it is. Would you like to read this email?
You bet.
All right. You read it, buddy.
Nora has a 2014 FLHTK. That's a ultra limited with a compensator noise. And she says, I'm talking with hog members with the same compensator noise. Can you tell us what is going on with the Harley Davidson compensator problem? You want me to read your response?
Is it a problem?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Da-da-da. All right. So go ahead.
That was the awkward pause.
You can read my response. This is what I responded. And then you're going to get way more in depth in it. But this is what I responded based on my little limited knowledge of this.
Listen, and you might also hear the chain whirring around in the primary. Pull the primary cover off and replace the OEM primary chain auto adjuster with a new auto tensioner. If you have experienced that the auto tensioner was bad or needed to be quickly adjusted, what you're hearing could be a primary chain with slack in it. So as the bike idles, you hear the chain whirring or rubbing against the inside of the primary. Then the compensator eventually gets a slack slap. I would take it to your local dealership and discuss it with them. So is that what you found? Tell me all about what you found. I'm interested to hear all of it.
Yeah. So I looked at a lot of different threads and things like that. And I also, I found a YouTube video of a guy. It's just a rough video, but he's talking about it. He's frustrated with it, but I hadn't heard it a lot. And I know you have some, I know you're asking me the question, so that's good. And I know you're going to bring some in because you have had some noise before. I honestly have owned a few different Harleys, of course, over the years, and I've never had that problem. But it seemed from the research I did, it seemed that there was no real outside, I guess everything I read came to the same basic conclusion. There was a few weird things like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but they were oddball. 99% of the information I got was just my absolute answer right there. And so let's look at this YouTube video and see how well. I haven't tried this. I mean, this particular video. So this is some guy. He's got 2 subscribers, by the way, but no, he just got a personal channel. Basically what he was is frustrated. And so he uploaded a video to his YouTube channel to see if anybody could help him. So he's looking at his Harley. It's a touring model. It's a newer model. And let's see if we can hear this, Oscar. I don't know how this is going to come across.
That clunk?
Yeah. Do you hear it kind of sounds like a little hammer inside his primary every now and then?
Yeah. So is that...
Listen to it here. It's a better sound. It's almost like a knocking now and then. So anyways, let me end this video.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. And you see how it's upside down. He's doing his phone. He just doesn't know what he's doing with video. But
sure.
And I don't know how well that'll come across to the listening audience, but he's basically got a video, and he's got it right on his primary drive on the left side of your bike where your primary chain is and your primary cover. And that's the little knocking noise once in a while that he's hearing. So, and that's a brand new bike.
That's weird, because when you have anything that goes round and round, when it makes an intermittent knocking noise, there's something else.
So you think it's something else, huh?
Well, because anything that travels in a circle, if the chain is slack enough that it's actually making contact with the primary walls, it should be making contact with the primary walls. Bink,
all the
bink,
time.
bink, bink, every time.
You think?
Well, why wouldn't it?
Chain just has slack once in a while. It doesn't do it every time, especially if it's just sloppy. It can change its, if it's going around, it's not going to slop in the same exact spot every time. To me,
if there's no load on it, why wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know, dude. I'm no engineer, but I could just think a sloppy chain, or it could be the chain tensioner having tension on it, and then
I would say,
and then the tensioner all of a sudden failing, and then popping back, and it could just be a failing chain tensioner that's supposed to keep. Yeah, I don't know.
The chain tensioners, the new ones are hydraulic. They're run off the primary oil,
right?
The 2050 or whatever.
Which is an auto chain tensioner, technically,
yes, it's
right?
An auto chain tensioner. It's hydraulic. So if the hydraulic mechanism is starting to fail, the chain then would slack and tighten, slack,
right?
Tighten, tighten, slack. So that usually indicates like a bearing noise. When a bearing goes, it squeals all the time. When the bearing's starting to go, it squeals sometimes. But it's so that's what I would think, that auto tensioner, something maybe in the hydraulic mechanism is not putting pressure on the tensioner intermittently. Because, does that make sense? So like,
but it's just the oil that in the primary that that keeps it tension.
Well, there's a mechanism that uses that oil to push tension. It used to be a spring.
Yes.
So on my 06, we were talking about this earlier. I had a 2006 Ultra Limited, an Ultra Classic, and I had a lot of that chain noise, but I never had the clunking. And you
had the whirring more.
And it was real obvious.
Kind of.
Yeah, and I was like, what the hell?
You want me to recreate that?
That was beautiful. It was like a music to my ears. When you hear the worst sound in the world. And when I switched from a 1040 in the primary back to a 2050, and the noise quieted down a little bit.
Okay.
I never worried about it too much. I never had that clunky noise, but I did end up adjusting the 06 had a manual adjuster. Right. And so when I finally got tired of the noise, I went in there and adjusted it like 2 notches, boom, went away. Okay. So because there was starting to be a little slack in the chain, but it was a constant noise because the chain's going around in a circle or in an oval or whatever. But that's what I would guess. I think you're right on the money. There's nothing else in there I can think of that would, unless it had something to do with a tranny.
My 05 had a manual tensioner, but I just bought for $100. I bought the auto and I put it in because I heard, here, let's look at some of this and see if it spurs anything. So a guy comments on this particular video, said, I had the same thing on my 14 Limited. That's what I'm saying. A lot of this is some newer. He says, Hardy said pretty normal, quote, but I didn't drink that Kool-Aid. It turned out that the auto primary chain tensioner does not do a very good job, and the chain got loose. Not loose, but not tight enough.
Right.
That caused chain slap and then compensator clunking, as you hear in the video. A very simple and quick adjustment, and it was gone. I credit my HD dealer mechanic for recognizing the issue once the primary case was open. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So sum that up.
That guy did a pretty good job.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So,
well, I mean, if the
tensioner got, or the job. Okay, so the chain tensioner does not do a very good job, and the chain got loose, not loose, but not tight enough.
Right.
That caused chain slap, and then compensator clunking. What does it mean by, is that the compensator actually clunking, or the chain clunking inside there?
I don't
see what I mean. That's why I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
I guess I've never,
because it's intermittent, but he listened, he watched the video of this guy, and he's like, no, that's exactly what mine was doing. It was a chain tensioner.
There's a compensating sprocket in there. Why?
So if the chain's loose, does that cause the compensating sprocket to clunk?
Why?
I'm not quite sure. I'm no expert on this. I'm just throwing it out there, dude.
I'm not sure either. I really am not. I'd have to see the inside of the primary to see if there was chain contact somewhere.
Me too.
Because typically when you have a loose chain, then you eventually break a cog.
Right.
A tooth breaks off.
Right. And so he's saying, and again, none of these guys are experts. He's just explaining it the way his dealer explained it to him. So, I mean, we're getting it secondhand, but
makes perfect sense.
I guess at the end of the day, it was a chain tensioner problem.
Yeah.
Which is what everybody's coming back to. Regardless if that's the compensator clunking or the chain slapping. It's a loose chain because the chain tensioner ain't fucking doing its job.
Exactly. That's really the only thing that
must be a union employee taking a break. The chain tensioner taking a break.
As much as I love damn Harley, they come up with random engineering flaws on occasion. I mean, they're getting better.
Everybody does, though.
Yeah, they do.
Every manufacturer of everything
they do.
does.
I know, but some of them, it looks like 14s. I mean, my 13 has been fine. I don't hear the chain at all.
Well,
it was my 06 is real bad, but I haven't heard anyone with 12s and 10s and stuff.
But yours wasn't clunking. Yours was whirring.
It was just whirring. Yeah. But I mean,
let me do it again.
You really like that. You really, I can leave now.
This guy says, this is a comment. He says, I have a 2016 Street Glide and it's making that sound. And the dealer said that it's normal. I said, bullshit, but they will not do anything about it until Harley money grubbers say to. And until government forces a recall, they will sit on their asses and do nothing. Not a happy customer right there.
Or break it. I mean, things like that, if it's a flaw, it'll break.
Look at this. What motor? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Email them. Get them some documentation that says, it's normal. And then when it breaks, you can go back warranty aside and go, I came to you under warranty and said this is a problem. And you told me it was normal. Now it's broke.
Right.
Bullshit. Fix it under warranty.
They took care of BD Kane on his brakes, or his hydraulic clutch, same thing.
Right, same. Yep.
Send him some little gifts and stuff because
they try to turn him away.
Exactly.
BS. Don't be cheap, Harley. Knock it off.
That's right. This guy says, "What motor do you have?" I have a 2014 Ultra Limited 110, and it does the same exact thing. Been driving me nuts. So it's happening. 2014 with a 110, and it's doing it. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's plenty out there. It's not. Probably in the scheme of things, it's less than 1%, but it's still bugging. It would bug the crap out of me. It's a problem. It needs to be fixed.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does. And Harley's cheaping out of it. It's ridiculous.
Right. Exactly.
I would make them replace. Well, make them. You can do the best you can to tell them, look, it's a faulty auto tensioner. Replace it.
Right.
Just replace it. They're hard to replace. You just take the. We don't have the inspection cover anymore. There's no more inspection cover. You have to take the primary.
Even on my 05, I took the.
You had an inspection cover.
Yeah, but I took the whole primary.
Oh, you did. That's not hard.
It's hard not to get in there. I just took the whole primary. It's just a gasket.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's a bunch of bolts in a gasket. But
right. We'll do a video. Actually, we're going to do that on Chewy's bike because we're changing it out to a black one. So I'll have a free video in the next couple months for you guys on removing the entire primary, not just the inspection or the clutch cover, the derby cover, but the entire primary.
Well, the old bikes had an inspection for the primary chain adjuster, an inspection cover. So you could go. That's where I used to fill it.
Right.
My bike with primary
up
foil.
front.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
And you could get I could get my little
oval thing.
Yep. And I can get my little fingers in there, and it was a pain in the ass doing that little port.
Did you have to spit on him to get him in there?
What are you talking about? I don't even know what. Are we talking about freaking motorcycles?
Jeez Louise, you're ridiculous.
You're out of control.
You know what though? If I was stressed, because obviously that's stressful for guys to be sitting there and, you got a freaking new bike and you got this.
Spend a lot of money on.
Yeah, you spend a lot of money and then you got dealership or whatever.
Jerking you around.
The best thing to do is not get emotionally hijacked. because it's easy to get emotionally hijacked and then you start making bad decisions. What I would do is probably head inside for a while, and I'd probably go over to lawabidingbiker.com/biker planet, and I would just get a hold of some bikers. I want a biker community, and I would get a hold of the biker community, and I would just start chatting. And if I was single, I would look for a lovely lady to connect with. What do you think about that?
That takes everything away.
That's right, Bikeaholics. This episode brought to you by our friends over at Biker Planet. They obviously care about the biker community by supporting this very show. So what do you say we show them some love, guys? That's right. Biker Planet, it's more than just the largest niche biker dating site. It's an entire social community of bikers, even if you're not interested in dating, like I say. Looking for a date or relationship? Well, then heck, find a dating relationship with someone that loves motorcycles and the lifestyle just like you. Not looking for a date? No frickin' problemo. Then just simply head over there and connect with other bikers around the world. Plan rides, meetups, or heck, just socialize, guys. The website, I'm telling you, super clean and user-friendly. Chat, search, see who's online, browse photos, check your own private mailbox, guys. That's right. No commitment, and it's free to check it out. But make sure you got to use our special custom link so that you can get all the perks and a lifetime discount of 50% should you choose to become a full member, guys. That's right. It's all over at lawabidingbiker.com/biker planet. Please use that link. It is the only link to use, guys. That's right, Oscar. And then after you took your little break, you could just head right on over and you could come back out with a new perspective after, connecting and chatting with a little hottie toddy.
A little socializing
over on Biker Planet. Yeah. Take it away. Don't get emotionally hijacked. All right. Anything else, dude, on the on that particular deal on the Compensator? I think we pretty much
it sounds pretty straightforward.
Beat a dead horse. Pretty much did it.
That was nice. That was a very thorough soundbite.
You like that?
I did. It really filled my mind with exactly what you were trying to convey.
Well, we're moving right along. We're moving right along.
We're doing well.
Answering some freaking questions. So here's a cool one, dude. Here's a, you'll want to definitely listen in on this one, Oscar. Who are you texting over there?
I'm not. I'm reading the show notes.
Oh, no. I want to know because I thought you were on Biker Planet, dude.
Oh.
You are. You just held his phone up.
You know what?
You're on Biker Planet.
Leave me alone, please.
I said hottie toddy.
Well, I wanted to check it out.
We know where Oscar's mind is. So this was a voicemail. This is from Martin Royal. And he went over to lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. It was that simple, guys. And he left a voicemail to us directly right on using his built-in microphone right on his computer. And of course, you can do the same. So let's listen in and see what Martin Royal had to say.
Hey, I called your phone number as well. My name's Martin Royal, a.k.a. Lead Footy from YouTube, watching your Fuel Pack 3 install on your Street Glide. And I'm wondering if you were able to get that running properly with that decatted head pipe. I purchased the same thing as you. I had the Fuel Pack 3 with the decatted head pipe and some twin slash dresser rounds, and I was going to work on that this weekend, but Vance and Hines is telling me that the Fuel Pack 3 won't work right with those decatted head pipes because they said the O2 sensors are too close together. They're made to have a cat in there, and when you take the cat out, they said you get a lot of crosstalk between those O2 sensors, and the Fuel Pack 3 isn't able to get the mapping right to make the bike run optimally. And they said, worse yet, I would not be able to use the auto tune. So I'm wondering if you had that, if you saw that, because I think in the podcast or in the video.
Okay. He got cut off for some reason there at 1:15. You can leave a message up to 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. Okay. So we're in the studio here and you should have seen, we're going to handle this well. But Oscar was over here and we're looking at each other while we're listening to this, and he kind of got the same reaction I got. Like, what the? Now, I will tell you that that's not the first time that has come up. I've had multiple individuals. He's just the one that left the voicemail, so I bumped it up on the podcast schedule because I love emails, but I like to play the voicemails ahead because they're just very interactive for the audience. Doesn't mean I don't like emails. I'm just saying that that's why it got bumped up ahead of schedule here. And of course, I had you in the studio. So I didn't send that to you, Oscar, because I was able to answer that.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear this.
Okay, so and then I'll get your input because you're more technical. So, all right. So a couple references that he's referencing. Number one, our free fuel pack 3, lawabidingbiker.com/fuel pack PAK and the number 3. That is our free fuel pack video on how to install it, how to get the app up and going, how to auto tune it, how to flash your electronic or engine control module, everything you need to know. That video gets a ass load of hits. It's near number 1 in YouTube now for the fuel pack 3. You'll be very satisfied getting up and running with that. The other video he's referencing is the twin/rounds that I put on my Harley Davidson motorcycle. Those are Vance and Hines twin/rounds. lawabidingbiker.com/twin/rounds. And that's a free video over there too. So I just want to get that out of the way. Now, I will say that we have good connections at Vance and Hines, and we've been very, very fortunate to have them over there. So nothing we're going to say is to bad talk Vance and Hines or anything. Because like I said, they've been very good to us and we really like their products. And again, this is a voicemail and that's his interpretation of how he dealt with them.
Right.
I'm going to speak, Oscar, from an experience as a everyday average biker out here.
Right.
So I'm not going to get too crazy with the technical aspects. Okay. So again, just take everything in context, guys. Because again, we are not talking about, I love Vance and Hines stuff and I don't know what technician and I don't know the whole conversation and what context was there. So I want to be fair.
Sure. Right. Absolutely.
We're fair here. But I will tell you that I from a personal standpoint, if that's exactly what was said under that context, I can tell you from my personal experience out here, average everyday biker running the Fuel Pack 3 with the twin/rounds, and I'm running the stock Harley Davidson head pipes that came with the bike, and I had the catalytic converters removed from those head pipes. I always preface that by saying, make sure that you check with your state, federal, and local laws to see if that is legal in your area, because I don't want you bikers out there to get hemmed up and start removing catalytic converters. So you really need to check, because it can be more serious violations and then less serious, like just infractions in some places for removing those. But I did that to save money. We've talked about it in many past episodes because that's basically what you're buying from any exhaust company when you're buying head pipes, is you're just pretty much buying pipes that are free flow. You're buying headers. And so obviously there's money to be made in headers, and I'm not saying that's what Vance and Hines is doing. I'm not necessarily saying that's what they're doing at all. But of course, companies, we just talked about one before this, RC Components. Yeah. Everybody's going to try to sell you their head pipes. Of course, that's huge ass money for them. And again, I'm not saying that's exactly why they're doing it. I'm not a technician, but I can tell you that I removed the catalytic converters from my stock Harley head pipes, and that basically makes them the same. I took I'm using the built-in O2 sensors, the 12 millimeter O2 sensors we've talked about in the past that come stock on Harley. That's what the Fuel Pack 3 uses to do its mapping and its auto tuning and all that. And we have multiple people. In fact, it's the go-to device now, the FP3, the Fuel Pack 3 from Vance & Hines for pretty much everybody at Lab Media here. We have done other videos. Oscar's running the Power Vision, which is a great unit too. But we have a handful of people here running the FP3s. We've all done the same thing. We've all removed the cats from our head pipes. We've all hooked up the FP3. In my very video, I show you how to do that. And I've run it, and I've flashed it. I flashed my ECM, and I've run auto-tune sessions successfully. And my bike is running wonderfully with the FP3 doing that. It auto-tuned just fine. I definitely talk in that video. I definitely know a little more spunk to my bike. It's getting very good fuel mileage. In fact, I was getting upwards of 44 to 46 miles a gallon on the way to Sturgis. So Wow. It's definitely tuned out. If I was getting 20 5 miles a gallon or 30, I would be very concerned. But I saw nothing that would lead me to believe that it wasn't tuning appropriately, or that my bike was running bad, or that it was getting poor fuel mileage, or running too rich, or running too lean. The bike's running like a raped ape with that FP3. And again, stock head pipes with just the catalytic converters removed. So that's what my response to him was. I'm telling you right now, you won't have a problem doing that with the FP3. I don't understand. And again, I'm not a technician or an engineer or anything like that, but I don't understand if Harley Davidson put the O2 sensors in a specific location and their ECM, and you'll follow up on this, Oscar. Hear what I'm saying. If Harley Davidson put the O2 sensors in a specific location and their own ECM is reading those, their own built-in engine control modules reading those O2 sensors, and they're far enough apart, I don't understand how the Fuel Pack 3 reading the same sensors the same distance apart could get cross communication, and worse yet, not be able to auto tune off the very stock O2 sensors that Harley Davidson is using. And I know there's got to be more to that, but I'm just telling you, I don't know what's going on there. I'm just telling you, of course, we love Vance & Hines, and if you have the money, buy their head pipes and buy the mufflers and the FP3 and all that. And of course, I'm sure they've tested all their stuff to be optimal, with their products. I'm just telling you from a real biker standpoint, I'm telling you, I haven't had a problem, and none of us here have them. We're all doing the same thing. I'm thirsty. I need a drink after that. Did I make sense?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not talking from a technician. I'm talking from a real biker here.
Yeah.
And I'm not finding any problems. So why don't you weigh in on this, baby?
I'd have to go, gosh darn it. It's been so long since I took my stock. I've had D&D 2-in-1, so it came with its own head pipes, and it is a single muffler. I'd have to go and look at my stock exhaust at home. I kept it. The O2 sensors need to be upstream of the catalytic converters in the individual head pipes. So they would have to be before the crossover tubes. So the only thing I can think of is
stock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking out loud, right?
Before the crossover section.
Okay.
They wouldn't, because they're down there right where they're close to the catalytic converters, but they would have to be in individual pipes. Otherwise, the ECM couldn't read or take readings from the individual head pipes if they were in the crossover chamber. Right. It wouldn't know which cylinder needed adjustment on the fly. So they have to be before the crossover chamber.
In between the heads and the crossover chamber, the first part of the pipes.
Yes. And they're down there. I mean, they're obviously right before the catalytic converters. The only thing I could think of is that they're close enough to the crossover chamber that Harley's using the catalytic converters kind of like an additional isolator for the crossover chamber. So that once you open up that you get some feedback from the crossover chamber into the head pipes.
Are you saying, just to back up, you're saying Harley's O2 sensors are in the crossover?
No.
Oh, no, okay.
No,
I was going to say,
upstream.
that's what I thought too, because that's where I saw them. Okay.
Yeah, they're down there.
I got you closer to it. Right. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm thinking
so
right.
maybe Vance & Hines is saying, if indeed what he said was true, is that they're close enough to the crossover chamber that if you take the catalytic converter out, they can't guarantee that you wouldn't get some interference from the crossover chamber, because that catalytic converter's gone and the pipe is open. And because you're dealing with sound waves.
Oh, I like it,
and exhaust gases. But you haven't noticed any problems.
I haven't.
My guess is it's probably not an issue.
It's negligible.
Yeah, it's probably not an issue.
That's good thinking though, man.
But they can't
that's why
tell
I like
you
you
for
have
sure
on
it
there.
wouldn't be an issue. They're saying, we can't guarantee you this won't happen.
Right.
Because maybe it happened
because they didn't test their stuff that way.
Right.
They tested it with Vance & Hines heads, Vance & Hines pipes, slip-ons, and Vance & Hines Fuel Pack 3, right? I mean, so they're...
Well, no, but my O2 sensors, like Vance & Hines, if you buy their head pipes, I think, are up right by the heads, because that's actually where
I remember that installing yours, yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them are that way, because you can get a little more accurate reading right out of the head. Right. Then as the exhaust travels down and it cools a little bit, maybe stuff falls out, whatever. So a lot of them are up closer to the heads.
I'm tracking.
So that's the only thing I could think of. Because when you do open up a little flow and you take the cats out, it's not amazing, but you do open up a little more flow. And if it's close enough
maybe.
I'd have to go home. I've got my head pipes at home with the catalytic conversion. I have to go look at them. Because that's the only thing I could think of why it would matter. They have to be still in the individual pipes, and they have to be
cat crossover.
Right. They have to be pre-crossover. Otherwise, that's the only thing I can think of. And you haven't any problems. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, and that's what we're telling you. Obviously, if you want to be 100%, then do what Vance and Hines says, because, like I say, they're a great company, and we love their stuff, and we love. I mean, look at how many Fuel Pack 3s we've sold for them just off our frickin' video. You know how many times I've been asked, "Where's the best place to get the Fuel Pack 3?" And I send them an affiliate link. And if you guys do want to get it, head over to lawabidingbiker.com/banners, BANNERS. That's our banner page with all our affiliate banners like Revzilla and Amazon and others. And if you click through and then end up making a purchase, that's right. No additional cost to you. We get a small kickback if you click through any of those and decide to make a purchase. And we appreciate that if this information is helpful and you decide to do that. Again, I guess I'll sum it up by saying I and many others here haven't had any problem, and we love the Fuel Pack 3 with or without Vance and Hines head pipes. We like it as a standalone unit, and with or without cats removed from those head pipes. We've actually tested it both ways because Jake technically still has his in, and it works good both ways all the way around. It's just a solid unit. So
it really is, yeah.
But yes, Vance and Hines does have very nice head pipes. So let's handle one or two more, and then we'll take it out, Oscar. We're doing real good. So let's talk about this. Peter Reed of Fort Hood, Texas, stationed there. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sir, for serving. Really appreciate it, man. God bless you and everybody else who serves this country. He says, I have been a member of your YouTube channel and Facebook page for Law Abiding Biker. After watching your videos and doing my own research, I purchased my first Harley today.
Awesome.
Yeah. How about that, dude? That's
awesome. Congratulations, dude.
What we like to hear. Get that back up there. He says, after watching your videos and doing my research, after I haven't ridden a bike in years and love my 2014 Street Glide. Just wanted you to know that your information and videos is what put me back on a bike.
Right.
Dude, that's powerful.
Thank you for that. That's awesome.
It does. It gives me a little chills, dude. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
I love it.
And that doesn't in any way get to my head. That just makes me feel good. That, oh my God, we're doing the right thing and we're helping people.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm stationed at Fort Hood. I can't wait for more information on your forums, which he means our website, of course, lawabidingbiker.com. Keep up the great work. And of course, we do have a forum, and that's our private Facebook page. Our private Facebook
it's getting late already.
Page. It is getting late. So this is second episode back to back. We batch process these things. So a lot of information, but that's our private Facebook group for patrons only, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. It's the same as a forum over there, guys. Thank you so much, Peter Reed, for sending us that email. And if you want to send us an email, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. We have a contact form over there. This is a cool one. So do you want to read this or do you want me to? It's about hog tunes.
I'm getting here.
Rory Sheldon.
Rory Sheldon of Walnut, California. Just wanted to drop a note and say that I tried to install the hog tunes without your video and wasted several hours. Once I purchased the video, installation was a breeze. Great job. Well worth the money. All
right. Awesome, man. Thank you for sending that. And we really appreciate that. And the video he's referencing, do you know where you can get that? That's our Hog Tune speaker. And if you're interested in an aftermarket system, I'm running the Hog Tunes right now. And you can get it all over at this link right there. Oscar, do you know what it is?
lawabidingbiker.com/hog tunes.
You are the man.
Well, there's a HTTP in there.
Right. www. You realize you don't have to do that anymore. Attaboy.
On the interweb.
Look at you, dude. You're coming right up in the world, dude. I'm telling you.
After a rocky start on episode 1, I've redeemed myself.
Yeah. But that is one of our premium for purchase videos, guys. Also, we have the cycle sounds over there, lawabidingbiker.com/cycle sounds. We also have the Boom Audio Phase 1 and 2, Stage 1 and 2 speaker and amp install. And I can't, off the top of my head, remember the URL, but just go over to lawabidingbiker.com and put in Boom Stage 1. Boom Audio Stage 1, or search for that. We've got that. We've got a lot of videos over there. So you can get up and running, but that is great because I've heard that many times. Guys are like, they get frustrated. What do? They go on YouTube, they search for it, they find our video, of course, which a lot of our for purchase videos are. We tell a lot about the video, but you have to go for purchase it. Just, I should say the very few for purchase videos we have, that's how they find a lot of it, or they Google it and then find our website, and then it's worth the money, man. Yeah. You just purchase it. And that's why I started making these videos, because I couldn't find them. And I'm like, you know what? Right now I'm so frustrated. I would pay I literally would pay X amount of dollars to just have a video that's squared away, that shows me exactly what to do. No smoke, no mirrors, just some guys showing me what to do. Very, very detailed. And that's what these videos do for people. And
I use our videos actually quite a bit.
You do too.
I do. And I've made some of them.
Yeah, right. And you have. I know. You'd be surprised here at lawabidingbiker.com, guys.
We use our own videos a lot because I forget stuff, and the videos are so comprehensive, and I'm like, what did I do with that? I'm like, oh, wait, I know where I can find it again.
Yes, it's almost like a journal for me.
It is kind of.
Because I've done it, and I've actually went back and referenced them and went, okay, at that time I knew exactly how to do it. I documented it on recording and video, and I give it to people, whether it's a free or for purchase, but I don't do it every day. And so I can go back and go, I love my, and I do. I'm like, I love my videos because it's so, and I'm like, oh God, I thank, thank myself for like, oh God, thank you for documenting that. You know what I mean? It's almost like a video, diary kind of deal. So,
well, and there's been a couple of times I've watched my video like, why did I do that way?
Yeah, right.
Why am I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Gosh.
No, but it's great stuff.
It really is. I really enjoy it.
And I didn't have another email in there. That's pretty much it. Let's look down here, because look at this list of emails.
Holy wow.
And so what I do is I just drag these into episodes when I find a good one. But let's look at a couple here, because I think we have time to answer one more. I like doing just general emails like that are thank emails, or here's on the Kuryakin Phase 7. That's a long one. We better not do that. Oh, that's a big. We need to do one on that. Tire balancing beads.
Uh-huh.
We've had a lot of questions on that.
Yeah.
That would be a good one. Let me look here. Hang with us, guys. We'll find another.
I may have farted on the new couch.
Oh my God. Are you serious, dude?
I told you I was going to.
Why?
Because I have to.
You can actually, that's cool, because you can now say to everybody here on after that you were the first one to break in that couch.
Yeah, I broke wind and broke it in.
Oh my God, dude. Let's look at this. Oh, there's some tire questions, dude. Yeah, we can't get too involved. Hang with us here, guys. We're just trying to find one more email. Oh, this is a cool one. So here, let me look at this one. We'll actually drag that up. See how I'm doing this, Oscar?
No.
Right here. Oh yeah, let's drag that, because I have to do show notes on this. So here's an email. It says, Ryan, do you want to read this, dude?
No, go for it. I can't see
this. Guy's awesome. He's very involved. Thanks for the bundles of information you have passed on throughout the year. This is from John Philbrick, guys. Thanks for the bundles of info you passed on throughout the year. You are appreciated and looked to as a source of information. I know it takes more time than I think I could expend to put together your programs for us bikers and other interested parties, but there are those among us that acknowledge your extra effort and all the useful information. So as this year comes to an end, so he sent this right before Christmas, and another one is coming face to face with us. I wish you and yours a most Merry Christmas and a great New Year. May you be in health and continue on with your enthusiasm and great informative emails, videos, podcasts. John Philbrick.
That's awesome.
And we get a ton of those. You see them. I forward you only about not even a quarter of the emails we get, but that's why we do this, guys. That is exactly why we do this. And thanks for sticking with us, obviously, with I don't want that song. I don't want that song.
Wow, you're having a rough end.
That's better. What do you think about that?
I haven't been up this late in many moons.
Oh my gosh, dude. We've cranked out 2 episodes. We did one live.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then we did this one. We batch process. We have to, guys, because it's so hard to get us together. And so much work goes into these. And then we try to just crank out at least 2. Because it's hard to say, trying to find a date to get back together. All right, guys. What should we do? A call to action, Oscar. Call to action. That is right, guys. Let's do this one. This is a good one.
This is an exciting one.
Oh, so exciting. That's right.
Oh, man.
If you need a cell phone or GPS motorcycle mounting solution, that is right. Get the freaking Biker Gripper, guys. It is the sexiest, sleekest, strongest cell phone and GPS motorcycle mount on the market. That's right. Use it to mount your cell phone GPS devices, radar detectors, EFI tuners, tolls, transponders, oh God, and so much more. Tried and tested right here by the guys here at Law Abiding Biker Crew, guys. In fact, Oscar, we believed in it so much. That's right. You know what we did. We ended up stamping our very own logo on it. That's our stamp of approver, biker approved, available exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. Choose from several different models, guys. Black chrome, black and chrome, chrome, control mount, universal mount. We've got GoPro heads and grippers and all kinds of just crazy gripper stuff. Oscar.
Gripping frickin' everything, dude. Gripping frickin' everything.
Find it at lawabidingbiker.com/store or lawabidingbiker.com/biker. Gripper, we've got videos, install videos, explanation videos, so you can nail it down to exactly which model will best suit your very little biker needs. That is right. You want to shout out the Law Abiding Biker Podcast hotline phone number, Oscar?
If I could read it from here.
509-731-3548. Is it really that small, dude?
I don't know.
If you had a nickel for every time you heard that, you'd be a millionaire.
Wow.
Just saying.
Wow.
Or, guys, leave a voicemail right from the internet, right from your computer microphone, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. Rate us in iTunes or Stitcher Radio. It helps bump us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and join what we call the biker revolution.